You don't cage something that is already dead. You only cage something that is very dangerous. This is a sentiment I got from this trending cartoon series known as the Politician, whereby the honey badger and the lion are the animals that are fighting for a revolution after the lion took power. They've just been promising, but behind the scenes they have been giving plans that are very oppressive to the people. Now, putting that into the context of Africa and even to narrow it down into the Kenyan context, finance bills, laws have always been put to oppress the people. You know what? It has reached a point whereby people are scared of even the demonstrations, such that when you call a demonstrations and people don't turn up, then they think that, oh, those who are funding demonstrations did not pay people. You know what? This is one thing I want to tell you, Kenyans. And Miguna said it in his X, where he tweeted. He said that if the Bangladesh youth had postponed the protests, the then Prime Minister, up to date, would still be on the throne. And that is the reality. If Kenyan youths, the Gen Zs, didn't postpone the protest, trust me, up to date, we would be having a different regime. Because we feared the police. We feared police brutality. That is why we are in this shit that we are in. Haven't you heard of the famous saying that says, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger? Yes, that is what happened to the government. We did not manage to overthrow this government. We didn't manage to change the regime. So, what happened? They devised mechanisms of ruthlessly dealing with the people, ruthlessly dealing with the protesters. You know, the movement was leaderless, was tribeless by then, and the demonstrations were successful because the government didn't know whom to approach to pay in order to quell the protests. But later on, as the saying goes, everybody has a price. And the price has always been like selling your soul to the devil. And metaphorically, the devil will be likened to President William Samoei Ruto's administration or regime. Now, we had youth whom other Gen Zs were looking up to, the likes of Kasmuel Makure. And when they decided to abandon the revolution for God knows why, you saw they came back supporting the regime despite police brutality, extrajudicial killings, state-sanctioned abductions going on within the nation. They shifted their principles to suit their interests. You know what? There is a difference between a stone and a seed. A stone stays where you leave it, but a seed germinates into what you cultivated it into. Therefore, when the energy and the driving force is subdued, you whom you feel the fire burning deep inside to stage a revolution, it is your time to do that. You are the seed that germinated. Don't wait for somebody else to help you. It is you to help yourself. If those who fought for independence, if those who fought the colonialists didn't do whatever they had to do because they feared the freedom and the democracy you're enjoying today wouldn't be there. Of course, it wouldn't be there. And it is in that spirit that the future generations of freedom and democracy entirely depends on us. This regime, and I'm saying this with a lot of fear to the most of the opposition leaders that we have today, because they have worked in various regimes that have always been oppressive to the people they govern. My question is, what change do we really expect from them? How sure are we that they are not working together? Because as it is, the leaderless movement has had a leader. The tribeless movement, some of you have managed to be convinced that one tribe is superior than the other. You've managed to be convinced that such a tribe doesn't want such a tribe. You've managed to be convinced that when that leader says left, it is left. You don't question. Yet, the Gen Zs were speaking one voice. And that was the weapon that the government wouldn't beat. But as it is, somebody somewhere believes you have to be paid for you to go for the demonstrations, for you to protest. I totally agree with Miguna. Waiting until 2027 is nothing other than cowardice. If we really need to rescue this nation, we need protests that are full scale. Day 1, day 2, day 3, even if it takes forever for the regime to listen. Amidst the fact that revolutions don't happen when their time isn't due. They do only happen when their time is due. And it is because of that, I say, you can only fight for a people who are ready for the revolution. And if they're not ready, then wait and see. If William Ruto manages to be the president in 2027, you'll see the worst ever regime you've never seen. Tell me what kind of president has time to go heads on with argument on X tweets after an expose of his lies is brought forth and terms it propaganda, even tells the media house to do its worst. You can imagine. He always believing in doing the worst, and that's which he is gonna do. Be careful. Be vigilant. Your nation is being taken away. Ahmed Halu is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Dub Radio. What is your take? If you love content of this nature and you're watching from my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button. So anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Assalamu alaikum. warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dab Radio ndio mpango mzima.